Okay, so in this video I'll be sharing with you guys how to unwrap the human body, including the eyes later on. So currently this model here is half the model and this is a duplicate special. My approach to this model will be unwrapping the arm, okay, followed by the leg, followed by combining both objects together, and then unwrapping the head and body as one piece. So I'll start off with selecting the arm. All the way to the shoulder. I apply a Planar Map so that now this is a detached model. I do the same for the leg. Whatever that is left over here is the body and the head. Okay, which I will just leave it to one side. I'll select the hand now. Take away the wrist. Only the palm of the hand and the fingers will be selected. Apply another Planar Map. So now I have three parts: the hand, the arm, and the leg. I start off with the easiest one, which is the hand. I turn on the checker map so that I can see what's going on. Okay, you can see that the whole arm are stretching, and I want it to be as square as possible. Now I have already applied a Planar Map, so what I need to do next is to find out where do I want the seam line to be. So I select the edges, select the center, this edge loop here, go over to my UV space. Okay, who want to shift and right click and cut the UV. What's going to happen is that this edge that I just cut, okay, will split up. I'll select the whole UV here. Who want to shift right click and unfold. Okay, I'm going to undo once because I don't want all my UVs to be crowded inside the cube, inside the square. So I go to unfold, settings, uncheck the pack option, apply and close, and this is what I have right now. Turn on the checker map and you can see that the arms, the checker map, the squares are all evenly spaced out. Okay, turn on the checker map. Now this is one arm. I'm going to put it one side, just rotate it to 90 degrees, straight up. Next I'm going to do the hand. Now this is the same concept. We are just going to find out where is the seam line. I'm going to put it right at the center, double click on the edge loop. Okay, you can see all the lines, the white lines selected. Go over to my 3D space here, and I don't need this to be selected, so I only want the hand. Shift right click, cut UV. This is what happened. Okay, the faces are cut. So I select both faces, just double click. Want to shift right click. Okay, sorry, we got to go to UV first. Double click. Want to shift right click and unfold. Okay, this is what we have. One big hand and one small hand. So I'm going to scale it down, rotate, Now this is the bottom of the hand. Just looking at where the vertices are, you'll be able to tell which is the top and which is the bottom. So this is the top, sorry, this is the bottom and this is the top. Now there's this very long belt of UV or vertex here, which I have no idea what is it. So I'm going to select the faces and then go to my 3D space and find out what is it. So okay, now I know. It's actually the side of the top hand. So I actually need them to be combined again. So what I do is I will double click on the faces, go on the shift right click, Planar Map. That will do a reset. Okay, you can see that my hand is very nicely done here. So I'm going to change back to UV, select all, shift right click and unfold. And that will fix my seam line. Okay, scale it up to match the side of the other hand. Okay, turn on the shaded option here to see if there's any overlapping. Okay, and then I'll book on the leg next. Now for the leg, it's going to be the same thing as the hand. I'm going to select the feet portion and I'm going to apply a planar map. So now I have the feet and the legs separate. I'm going to find where is my seam line, which are usually at the back. Go on to shift right click, cut the UV, go to UV mode, select the thigh, the leg, go on to shift right click, unfold, and that's it. That is the UV for the leg. Now for the feet, it might be a little bit more tricky to find out where the seam line is going to be. So I'm going to place the seam line at the heel, okay, at the back of the feet and at the bottom of it. This will be the seam line for the feet. Shift right click, cut UV, UV, select, shift right click, unfold, and that's it. Rotate, scale it down. Okay, this will be the feet, and this is actually the bottom of the feet. So scale it up to match the scaling. Okay. Now some of us would like to have the bottom of the feet, the sole, separate. Okay, while some of us would actually prefer them to be attached together. So if you prefer them to be attached, what you need to do is just select the edges here, hold on to shift right click, move and seal the UV, and that's it. Okay, you might also want to just do a quick unfold to even out the spacing here. Scale it down. You can also do things like merging the edges here, but then you will need to unfold this area again. Double click, shift right click, unfold. Now the disadvantage of merging them, merging the leg and the feet together, is that you will have a tendency of having some stretching around the seam line here. Okay, but in this situation it looks alright, so I'm just going to keep it. Now you can see this is the problem. This face here, the rectangle is stretching compared to the rest. It all looks alright except for this square. So I'm going to take a look and see if there's any way I can fix it. Anyway, it's just a very minor one, so I'm fine with it. Okay, I'm going to select the vertex, I'm going to move it around and see if I can minimize the stretchiness. Okay, so if I were to improve on this situation, another problem will occur. So I think I'm just going to leave these two as a stretch one. and then continue from here. Now I can also do the same for the hand. Select the edges. Okay, now I just realized that one of the edges are actually at the other end, so I might want to actually cut this out. Cut UV, move this over to the other side. Okay, I only want these edges here. Shift right click, move and seal, unfold, select the edges again, move and seal, unfold. Okay, rotate. Okay, now this one here, I can do the same thing as well, but this time I'm going to attach. I'm going to seal up the thumb as well. Shift right click, move and seal, double click on the UV, unfold. Okay, so now I have a very creepy arm. Okay, with everything unwrapped. Now I say again, you have to depend on the situation. If you were to attach both fingers, the hand, to the arm, you will have some issue here. These selected faces here might be stretching. Okay, they might have some issue with the checker map. So if you're having any issue, if it's just minor one, it's still alright. But if you have any major stretching, right? Okay, this is considered major. I just did an example for you to see. This is considered major issues. So if you have any major issues, I'll suggest that you do not attach the hand together to the arm. Okay, keep it separate, it's fine. Now that I have already done both the hand and the leg, okay, I will actually save the work and then continue to merge both objects together. Okay, I'm going to delete this duplicate special, and what I'm going to use is actually symmetry. Now I need to make sure that in my front view, okay, my vertex or my edges at the centers are directly at the center. So I turn on the X-ray mode, I zoom in closer, I select that center edge. Okay, deselect this. Okay, I only want that center line. You can see here that there's a gap. There should be one line instead of two. Okay, I want to make sure that I only select one line. Use the scale tool and scale in one direction. Now I have everything in one line. But this is before. You can see that there's an issue here. After I have scaled, this is after. Once I have done that, I'm going to use the Symmetry Tool. Okay, and find out the correct direction. Okay, now I have an issue here. I have a gap. So I need to actually delete my history. Center pivot. Delete history. Oh wait, I make a mistake. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Modify center pivot. Delete history, non-deformer, symmetry. Oh, I still have a gap. Undo, freeze transform. Interesting. Okay, I think I understand why. Because there's one vertex that is going in too much. So I'm going to select this UV, push it in closer. See, this is my center line. Let me turn on the grid. Okay, this is the center line. Okay, if I draw a line down, okay, you can see that this UV here is further up. So I need to actually push this inwards. So select this whole section here. It's just going to be a minor issue. You're just going to push it in, and that should fix the problem. Okay, let's do it again. Yes, there's no longer a gap. Okay, please make sure that you are actually merge mode is merge. That will merge the center vertex. Press W to lock it down. Okay, I want to check that my mouth there's a gap inside. Okay, sometimes these two vertex might accidentally be merged together like this. So you just want to make sure that there's a gap. Oh man, accidents happen, so let's continue. Okay, so after I have merged both objects together, okay, using the Symmetry Tool, over at my UV space, what's happened is that now I have 2 legs and 2 hands. And so instead of unwrapping both separately, all I need to do is just unwrap once and do a symmetry, and now I have 2. That will save a lot of time. Okay, now for the body itself, okay, I can't do the same technique. Reason because the seam line is actually at the center of the body. Okay, or actually I would say center of the back. Just like the arm, you know, it's a cylinder. The body is also a cylinder. The head is also like a cylinder. So I'm going to actually apply the seam line at the back. So I select the head, shift full stop to grow the selection, deselect the body. Okay, I only want the head, so even the neck I will take away. The more faces I have for the head, right, the more stretchy it will become. So I want to minimize selection as much as possible. Okay, make sure I select the same amount of faces. Okay, looks good. Okay, go back to my UV. Okay, this is my body. Okay, now I have to emphasize the importance of applying a planar map, because that will reset your UV. If you don't apply that planar map at the beginning and you just go straight to cut the seam line, your UV will not be accurate. When you are trying to do the unfold, you will not be accurate. So you must actually apply a planar map every time you select the mesh to do the UV. Okay, go over to my edge mode. Okay, I select the back of the body. This is where I want the seam line to be. Okay, so I can't really see the butt being selected, so I went into my X-ray mode, or actually my transparency mode, and select them. Okay, I do not need to select the seam line at the front of the face, so I want to keep it until here. I want to shift right click, cut the UV. Now I go to UV mode, double click, on the body, unfold. Okay, move this one side, we'll fix that later. We'll do the same for the head. Unfold. Okay, I'm going to zoom in closer, turn on the shaded mode. Now for the face or the head, it's important for you to turn this on so that you know that you do not have any overlapping, because once you have any overlapping, it's going to be very obvious. You can see the color. And the faces, because there are so many things going on, so many details going on, tendency of actually overlapping is high. You can also notice that the faces, is asymmetrical, your UV is asymmetrical, so you can actually do things like selecting the faces there. Okay, go on to shift right click, smooth UV tool, apply an unfold, okay, or even use a relax to help you out. Now if you have a situation like this, my suggestion is that you have to manually move them out. Okay, or you can try to unfold again. So if this is a minor issue, then I would suggest just manually move it. Okay, what you can also do, like I mentioned, but you need to spend some time to troubleshoot. Shift right click, smooth the UV, or open up the settings. Okay, play around with the settings and try which one gives you the best options. So if I relax just a little bit, then I unfold. Okay, relax just a little bit. Okay, looks better, but they're overlapping, so I have to do this portion manually. Now by doing this, okay, I will actually sacrifice some of my stretchy, or actually some of my checker map. Okay, it's not very obvious, but what's happening is that the details inside, the faces inside, are actually stretching. So just take note of it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as such and continue to my, you can see that the unfold for the ear is very good as well. I think this is good enough. Okay, so I'm continuing with my body. Going to rotate this. Okay, select the face at the top. Okay, this is my neck portion. Go and check if my checker maps there are stretchy. If it's too stretchy, then I will need to cut the line further. So this is the front, this is the chest. Okay, I'm going to cut this out further. Shift right click, cut UV, unfold further. Hopefully it will give me a better result. Yes, it looks better. Okay, I'm going to detach these two faces. I'm going to actually attach it here. Okay, this will give me the best result. Okay, next I'm going to just adjust and put everything inside. the square. Okay, priority will be given to the face. Now since I'm only unwrapping the body, I do not have any clothes or armor at this point of time. Okay, so I'll just be making use of this body to show you how I lay them out. Now let's say that the body is symmetrical. The arms and legs are having the same UV, they are overlapping. Okay, we do not need to split them out. But if you're going to do separate textures, you need to flip and invert your selection. So this is the leg. Okay, and this is the body. Okay, I think the hand is too big, so I'm going to scale it down smaller. Let's see if I can put the leg here. Put this in. Okay. Do a quick check. You can see that the scaling are more or less the same. And then you can continue with your texturing from here. Oh yes, the eyeball. I forget to mention about that. So I'm going to isolate my selection. Okay, where is my eyeball? Okay, my eyeball is not duplicated, so I need to duplicate them. Control D to duplicate, move it over here. Now for the eyeball, we only need to unwrap one eyeball, and it's relatively simple. All I need to do is just apply a planar map from the front. Okay, we won't be seeing the back of the eyeball, so we need to spend too much time on this. Just go select your eyeball, go to UV, planar map, and make sure that you are using the correct axis. So in this case, I believe my camera is z-axis, sorry. Just apply. Okay, and this is what we have. Just double check. Yep, okay, I'm correct. Okay, I'm going to move my eyeball back in. Select both my object, my body and the eyeball. I'm going to scale the eyeball smaller. And then find a place where you can place your eyeball. Okay, so right now after doing a simple laying out, I'm trying to adjust and see if I can reach the best result. I want to utilize as much UV space as possible. You know, the bigger UV space, the bigger the UV, the more details I can put in. The smaller it is, the lesser detail. Okay, so I think I'm about done with this. Okay, and that's it for the video.